I'm grateful to Friends of Caroline Hospice and all their services over the time that my wife was dying. My wife in this picture is Margaret Walker Pfeiffer.
Eric, it was my brother, and he died at the age of 53 of brain cancer. Got a phone call in the middle of the night that he had been diagnosed with stage 4 glioblastoma in New Jersey and was calling for me. So I went up and took care of him a little bit in New Jersey, moved him to Georgia, where we had been living. And then when we retired and moved down here to the Low Country, we knew we needed to bring Eric with us.
My dad passed prior to the cottage being open, so he passed away at home. They were excellent. I think they had the bed at the house the same day. We brought him home. He lasted about a week. And they couldn't have been any better. The nurses, their professionalism, their compassion, the office staff that we dealt with, just everyone was excellent.
It was my husband, Russ, and he passed away in October of 2023. We had been married 33 years, and he was a contractor in Beaufort, a general contractor, and he loved life.
My dad had come down with Parkinson's, and it was based on the Agent Orange exposure that he had while he was in Vietnam.
My mom's name was Pat Malfris. She grew up in Charleston, South Carolina, and met my dad, who was from the little town of Ridgeland. She often said she got funnier the older she got. I think it was just that she didn't have a filter.
Margie had chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. The last 2 years of her life, she was under hospice care, and it was wonderful. They provided medical care. They provided a nurse on call at all times. A social worker came to visit us and provided counseling for my dying wife and for me.
When we first called him, within the first week, his pain was gone. That's the biggest thing I can say about hospice is the pain management. When we first called him, he could barely get out of a chair. And like I said, by the first week, he was walking the dog out in the park.
Friends of Caroline is excellent. The compassion, again, the professionalism, the nurses out back are just superb.
And those last, several months were invaluable to us when Friends of Caroline stepped in and we got to know Eric, and he got to live the life and dignity that he deserved the last several months.
We got to the point where we needed hospice care. And because he lived with us at home, we started with Friends of Caroline at our house. He made his last days as good as possible, and I know that was really good. He was smiling the last time I saw him with his eyes open before he passed, and they just made it so much easier for myself and my family as well. So thank you from the bottom of my heart.
I'm very, very grateful for all the help that hospice here provided and still do for me, who miss my sweetheart every day.
Friends of Caroline was a godsend to our family. And if it hadn't been for Friends of Caroline, we wouldn't have had a good goodbye. And we did. We were able to keep her at home. We were able to love her right in her home, right where she wanted to be. And we owe it to Friends of Caroline.